All right, so here we have all of the Lego Vintage Royal Knights releases from 1995 to 96. Just a couple of years there. And per research, it looks like they released this little Crossbow Boat in 97 as a box version, but this is a poly bag set. Tiny little boat. Anyways, so I'm just I didn't really feel like moving around a bunch of stuff, so I just kind of stuck the camera over here in my typical display where I had some Royal Knight sets previously. And yeah, they're great. They're very endearing to me. They have obviously the king appears for the first time in 1995, and he looks great. I have 3 kings. Three kings. This one's the one with the King's Carriage set, pictured right here in front. And then I have one, he's up here in the shadowy throne room up there. Yeah, from left to right, we've got Skeleton Surprise, 6036. And then behind that, of course, the amazing 6090 Royal Knights Castle. The largest of the castles. The pre-2000s, well, you could argue that the Fright Knights in 97 had a big, tall castle, probably the tallest. I just, I didn't really care for those sets. Just to be honest, hot take, I didn't really consider them castle sets. Yeah, it's nice to have an enemy faction like that, especially because there were so many witches in medieval times, and yeah, that makes total sense, but I'm not really counting them in my book as far as a vintage set. Anyways, so yeah, Royal Knights Castle is the greatest castle. I'm sorry, it's the biggest castle. Arguably, you could argue a million different greatest, I think. It's a great design all around. A lot of it's incomplete. I've done an individual set video on this one and all the sets, of course. But it does look great. It's really tall. It's really imposing. I kind of elevated up on this little bit of foam, sort of a hill, and then I've got a ramp. Yeah, and then you've got King's Carriage in front of there, which is a great looking carriage. Needs to be altered in such a way, if you can, to maybe fit more than one person, more than just the king. Although I guess you've got his personal guards on there too. But yeah, if you have a maiden or a queen from other previous, or a princess from the other previous line knight sets or crusader sets, it'd be nice to have somewhere for her to go. At least that's what my daughter always plays, and we can never figure out how to get them both on there. Not saying that's entirely necessary, but yeah, that's sort of a lacking thing. Nevertheless, it looks great. Behind that, up on kind of the rock outcrop is, well, this catapult is just called Catapult, or you could call it Royal Knights Catapult, part of the Value Pack 1843. And I did a video on that value pack, but apparently I didn't realize individually the set has no name. No name in any catalog or any historical listing or Bricklink or other sites that inventory all Lego sets. And they have no individual numbers, which is really weird. Usually those value sets, each of the individual builds have their individual set number as well as the value set number. But that one only has the value set number, and that's it. And there's a space theme, Spirius flying vehicle, spaceship or whatever, that has no name as well, or no number. Anyways, but it's a great catapult. It's pretty functional. It's and it's got a nice break on the front. Anyways, I've done a video on that value pack, which is great. Then also over here we have, just slap some water over here, but it's the Royal Knights Royal Drawbridge 6078. And this is a great set for like an environment and playability. It's obviously got some gaps and incomplete areas, but yeah, it functions as a guard, and I've done individual videos on it as well. And below that, the Crossbow Boat, which was just a little poly bag, the last of the Royal Knights sets. And that's it for Royal Knights. The only other times you see them are in some Dark Forest sets, which of course I've done videos on that, as well as I think they're a prisoner in a Fright Knights set or two, if I'm not mistaken. That kind of stuff. And you see they're in unique shielding and torso prints, as well as some scale mail prints. This is probably the common one with just this red. There we go. And then their shield print. It kind of came back around in Knight's Kingdom in the like 2000s. Let's see. There was a Crown Knights. There was, yeah, Knight's Kingdom 1. It came out in the early 2000s, Knight's Kingdom 1. And they were kind of yellow and blue, mostly. And they kind of had, let's see, their shields were similar to it. I don't have any of those sets, nor do I care to. I mean, it is vintage at this point, but there are a lot more, I guess, toyish. Yeah, so the Knight's Kingdom 1 has definitely the same emblem. It has the same line on it, but they're blue and yellowish pattern. Anyways, so that's the only other time you see those kind of return. But otherwise, all of the new editions of any new Lion, Knight, or King related sets that have come out, they're kind of reintroducing that classic Lion Knight or Crusader look. So, in a sense, you never really see Royal Knights again, and there are a couple of obviously newer releases of Kings and those types of things, but yeah, this is it for Royal Knights. Definitely one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites of all time. It's definitely my second favorite castle, and it's got some great architecture to it, but also the focus of Royal Knights during this time and during these years of LEGO. We're trying to, I guess, balance between the look and also playability of the sets. So there's openness, and you can reach in and place the minifigures, and there's more catapults, moving parts, you know, different things. Obviously, the skeletons that surprise you and stuff like that. Skeleton minifigures are in here. But anyways, I've done individual sets. The Royal Knight sets look great, and I've also discussed how you would display them as their own faction. Would you put this on the side over here of Royal Knight's castle, kind of further back as a really long bridge? A lot of people have done that. That makes probably the most sense, but I love the idea of putting the Royal Drawbridge in front like a drawbridge, because there's already a drawbridge on this side of Royal Knight's castle. So there may be a way of doing that that makes sense as well. I don't know. Maybe if it's elevated, it would look great. I don't know. I haven't done that. Or maybe there's something else entirely that you guys do. Maybe leave a link in the comments, or maybe describe or I mean, show us what you do with your Royal Knight setup. But thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for other LEGO videos to come, including a whole new thing, a whole new theme. Can you guess what it is? It's coming. Stay tuned.